Much, bro. Oof. All right, guys. All right, guys. Welcome to Optimizing Forward, guys. Where our objective is to obviously live an optimized life. I'm gonna go ahead and make a live stream here, try to keep the cycle of consistency going. So for today, guys, pretty much what I'm gonna go over is AI and self improvement, right? So this isn't a subject I've really talked about in a while, actually a really long time. So like first things first, right? Like, have I really done anything tech related in a while? Guys, I pretty much haven't really done anything tech related. And I would say maybe 4 or 5 months, like, or at least I haven't been very motivated, right? Like, for example, I have like this Pac-Man game, I think, that I made with AI, and I was working on it for a while, and I was just like, I'm bored, like I was iterating on this project. Um, it's just writing like perfect Python, and I'm just like, damn, like I probably couldn't do this, and it would take me. I could probably do this. Maybe it would take me 3 or 4 years of practice, and I just basically rendered me obsolete if I was under the identity of software developer. Um, and I was like, oh no, it was absolutely incredible. It made the main py file, it made everything, garbage collector, all this stuff. It has all the for loops, the while loops. If anything, I can actually pull up the code here just so I can look at it. Because even now when I read it, it's still kind of mind boggling that this is just for $20 a month. I basically can code any application I want pretty much. Now, it's not to say that large language models don't hallucinate still, and they're not like perfect, obviously, but this ability to make a game of this level or this capacity would have cost a lot of money. So it was called MacMan version 7. So pretty much I had to iterate 7 to 8 times on this. I'm just looking right now. It has like perfect commenting. It's all comprehensible. I'm gonna read it out. In this iteration, we implement the following features and refinements: multiple levels, random mazes, high score management, key doors, fruits periodically show up, achievements, statistics, and more. So all this pretty much checks out, right? And then if I run it using Pygame, the program pretty much just works, right? It's kind of nuts. And if I look at all the code, right, even I don't understand all the code. I can like get a rough idea of what the code is doing, but like the code is incredible. Like if I look at it, like I know you have like a lot of senior software developers say, "Oh, AI is not that good" or whatever. They're bullshitting you. AI is incredible, absolutely incredible. Like I think there might be a way I can share this screen maybe, so I can show you guys what I'm looking at. So I'm gonna show you guys this code here. Like, look at this. This is even when I look at it, it's like even when I look at this, it's absolutely incredible. Like for y row in enumerate. So in case you guys want to know what enumerate is, right? This is basically a function, or it's not. Well, I mean, it's technically a function method call that is in Python that allows us to go through a set of iterable lists or tuples. Tuple is basically a string value that is immutable. That means it can't be changed. And then it's like if char equals this, wall y and x, self.walls.add, it looks like it appears like I don't even understand all the logic of this. Elif, so it's got like character values, right? That represent movements pretty much for key values. Kind of like when I used to do Visual Basic like 7, 8 years ago. It uses .coins, .add. Okay, so this is clearly a class object of some type. Elif all the way down. Just amazing code. If player dot position, so now we're trying to track the position in the maze. Dot position in the base speed dot 2.0. Self dot all that sprites dot add the self dot player. Okay, so it's like it pretty much did this. I would say maybe in like an hour. I iterated and I got a fully working game. I'm gonna run this now so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And this is actually gonna relate back to this video. Okay, so think about this, guys. I went to school for like maybe 2, 3 years to code, and I'm making no money in coding right now. So new game. Actually, let me share this screen. Actually, let me stop sharing. So this is the game that it created. And this is what we call vibe coding, apparently, which I think is utter nonsense because, like, I was technically vibe coding when GPT 3.5 was around, but like, just like look at this. This is like it's incredible. Like pretty much it wouldn't copyright infringe on Pacman, so we just made our own iterative version. Now I could put my own name in there. I have high scores. I can look at credits. I can go back. Like guys, I could not code something to this level. It would take me, I don't even know how many hours, 50, 100 hours maybe. Time attack. Let's see what that's about. I also look at this, guys. It even has a tracker of where all the position is. It has a miniature picture tracker. I might iterate on this for the fun of it, but and you might be wondering, well, are we able to make money out of this, right? And the answer is probably not because everyone pretty much has access to AI. So anything you could iterate on, you won't be competitive in the market. But like even a couple years ago, you might have been able to sell something like this, maybe, or use this in a portfolio on GitHub. Like this would be a very extensive project. This would probably be like a bachelor's level computer science project. And it just did it effortlessly, So like in an hour, that would have taken me 50 to 100 hours, not to mention mastering Python itself. Like Python's not that hard per se, but like going to show a little bit more of the code and then wrap up to the main subject of the video. So we keep going, It's got additional info that's kind of describing it. Fruit color sets the vivid tone detail, all this additional stuff. So pretty much it's using a for loop here to iterate, make multiple comments as one long consecutive string value. Render each line with appropriate vertical spacing. Y equals 80 for align in help lines. So we're going to go through help lines, help that server self.font.render.line equals true. I don't even know what this even does, but okay, self that screen. But anyways, you guys get the point. So this is incredible, right? Now, kind of, I guess, like the question, right, is what do we do with AI, right, in this like new time frame? Or not like new time frame, like what do we do with AI, right? So like I personally don't particularly care how good AI gets. Um, and I would suggest all you guys do the same. Like have a set of indifference to the inevitable increasing amplification of AI's capabilities because this is only going to get better and better and better and better. Like right now, we have agent mode. It can go through code bases, right? We have Dolly. We can make videos with Sora 2. There are tons of TikTok videos that are AI made already on the market that have polluted the entire market. And probably in the next 5 to 10 years, almost all content that will be made by AI. So it's like the question is like what's happening here like with this in terms of the automation process, right? So it's like if everything is progressing towards an automation based system process, then what is like the thing we ought to be doing, right? Because like some people are like, oh, we're gonna run out of jobs or there's gonna be less jobs and things of this nature. And the answer is, will there be less jobs? Absolutely. There's gonna be far less jobs. And I think a lot of people aren't ready for what's coming. But like it's inevitable, right? It's like there's not really going to be a field that's going to be quote unquote safe. Think about mathematics, right? Like Terrence Tao, I was listening to a couple of his lectures about automated proof solvers that Like in the future, we could even have a theoretical AI that could solve like the Riemann hypothesis or the Riemann zeta function, like some type of insane math problem that could create an infinite level of innovation that's never been humanly possible just because it can do brain work 1,000 times faster than a human can. Okay. Like I can get AI to write me a customized research report on anything that I want. I was trying to do this decision earlier and I had to write me a report for it. And now I'm reviewing a 15-page report with APA citation. Think about that. That's fucking incredible for $30 a month. So, what we should observe, right, is that there has been a drastic decline, or rather, not like a brain drain, but like a rapid demonetization in the value of human white collar work, right? So, if there has been a rapid decline in the production of human based white collar work, then that means the costs of all white collar work have to fall with the availability of AI. So that pretty much means the better AI gets, the lower pay everything will be across the board for all forms of white collar work that are use anything that is a mouse, anything that is a spreadsheet, anything that is on the internet. Okay. Because think about it. When you're on the internet, all you're really doing is you're manipulating a bunch of keyboard input layout and you're moving a mouse, which AI can now do. It can. I never like a year and a half ago, I didn't think that was really going to be a thing until for like 5 to 7 years, and now it is a thing, right? And it's only been 2 freaking years, which is absolutely mind boggling. So like so the thing is like there's nothing you can really do about this. There's nothing you can't even really even get on the AI hype train to monetize it and try to like get real estate or something. Like it's not really like feasible. Like because like all the people that are working in AI pretty much already have PhDs in mathematics. You're like 10 years too late, So it's like the best thing you can do right now is to accept number one, that there's absolutely nothing that you're capable of that is unique to you that AI cannot do. Not a single thing. Okay. The only other thing it may not be able to do just yet is flexibility, nuance based thinking, or intuitive based pattern recognition type thinking, right? But like if you think about chess, right? Like I'm like 1900, right? Compared to stockfish, that's garbage. Like stockfish can fucking destroy me. And I've probably trained maybe like 1,500 to 2,000 hours in chess just to improve to that level of pattern recognition, that level of calculation. And AI, it just, stockfish with this Monte Carlo tree can just destroy me. Like 15, 16 moves, right? So I guess like what does all this mean? So I guess what I'm saying is number one is an acceptance. Two is stop caring. Stop worrying. Don't read any more future AI reports. Don't worry about what the latest and greatest breakthrough is. Don't stop giving a shit. It literally doesn't matter. It won't make any perceptible difference to your fucking reality. It's like the same exact thing as political news or anything. It will make zero difference. Okay. Your day will carry on as it did before. If I go to the gym, if I do jujitsu training, it's exactly the same. You just keep on training. You keep on doing what you're doing. It just doesn't matter. People are under the delusion that if you get more informed, you're somehow going to like affect the outcome, or informing other people and make like this stuff has to stop. It's not going to make any difference. Absolute waste of time. Now, it doesn't hurt like once a week to like maybe skim the news and see what's going on, but like it really does not matter. Doesn't matter in the slightest. Okay. Haven't read much news. Hasn't made any difference in my reality. Not in the slightest. Don't know what's going on with most world events. Nothing's really happened. And attention is actually more valuable than ever, because like if we're not selective with our attention, then we're not really going to accomplish that much now. Okay, like I'll give you a good example of YouTube I used to follow. AI Explained, right? He's like, oh, I read this new white paper, this new thing, and all he's really doing is he's trying to generate money for clickbait so he can make a little money and pay his bills, right? And yeah, I guess get a couple more people informed, right? I'm doing the same thing. I'm trying to make content to try to make some money, and then hopefully pay my bills or whatever it is I want to do. We're all doing exactly the same thing, guys. But people are running businesses, we're making products, making goods so we can make money and hopefully live better lives. And maybe you guys get some value out of it. That's really it, guys. So it's like two is or three is an adaptability, right? I keep telling this to people. I have this good analogy. I'm not worried about winning any one game. I want to win every game, if at all possible. So, like in other words, I would prefer to have an adaptable mindset or an adaptable replicatory process that can adjust to all games. Like in game theory, right? In game theory is zero sum. It's a game of winners and losers, right? Every game has winners, every game has losers. So then the question is, if there are going to be losers in the AI race or the AI self-improvement that is coming, how can we at least increase our chances to get the greatest net benefit rather than net loss relative to those losers, right? We can't guarantee it, but we can do the best that we can to get as close as we can to that approximation of that objective. And if you fail, then at least you try, okay? Like, so, like with AI, right, there's going to be a lot of losers and a lot of winners. The benefits, don't even assume that they're going to be distributed fairly. They're not. Don't assume that there's going to be equality. There isn't. Okay. More of the same. All we're trying to do is just say, okay, AI is better than me at everything. Not only will it be better than me at everything, it probably will be better than every single human on Earth in everything. It's very feasible that in 5 years' time, there will be super AIs that will be able to do the work of 1 billion humans in 1,000 years in like 1 year, because it moves at the speed of light. The human brain doesn't even work as close to as fast as that. So it can run simulations faster. It can do things faster. It can experiment through simulations. But everything is just better across the board. The fourth thing is use it as an amplification tool. Okay. So there's this common dichotomistic division that occurs, right, between the master of none versus whatever, the master of one. This is the common thing all every day. Everybody has ADHD. No one can focus on shit. This is super fucking common, right? Everyone has TikTok brain. Even I do the same thing, scrolling through TikTok all day, just bored, can't focus on anything. By design, of course, because if you can't focus on nothing, then you can't make any long-term goals and you can't get better at anything, pretty much, right? So we need to resist the urge to like be a master or a jack of all trades. Resist this urge. Okay. Like it's fine to be a jack of all trades, but at least have a concentration. My rule is at least being advanced in at least 3 different categories, and intermediate and everything else. Even advanced is really not good enough. I would say close to expert at least in one thing, and everything could be advanced with a few intermediates and beginner levels. Okay. Because with AI, right, it's an amplification of any system skill of capability that you can iterate on. So in other words, if the problem with people being jack of all trades or whatever, jack of all trades, master of none, right, is that you haven't mastered. So the jack of all trades, master of nones, right? They haven't mastered the process of learning itself. So you might know a lot of stuff, but you don't have the skill of a master. You have the knowledge, superficial knowledge of a bunch of things, and that's it. It's really not that valuable. So it's like you may be adaptable, but you're not like, you don't know like what it actually takes to try to become elite in something. So you're missing a humongous component of self-improvement. The objective of self-improvement is not just to get okay at something, it's to get fantastic at something. So you know what it took to get there, so you could be better than all the competition, right? Because all the competition gave up at a certain capability threshold. Again, you don't have to be the best in the world, but what you do need to do is you need to learn how to work with a coach. You need to learn how to take feedback. You need to learn how to compete at a high level competition. You need to learn how to learn from your failures. You need to learn how to review those mistakes, and you need to learn how to be or build a skill set that a significant demographic of a niche do not possess, or that's very hard to develop. For example, I probably have top 10% pattern recognition for a chess player. I can play bullet at a very fast rate and intuitively come up with a wide range of moves because I've developed that capability. So when I understand this process and I understand how to make that process, then I can use AI on top of my adaptability and my flexibility with the mastery process to applicate and extract the maximum value of whatever it is that I'm doing. Okay. And you're pretty much going to come out ahead versus a jack of all trades, master of none. Okay. The only thing a jack of all trades, master of none pretty much has is that he just has a wide like knowledge base that's very shallow in many things, but he pretty much gives up the moment something is very difficult that develops the higher level of capability. And he doesn't improve on those mistakes and goes from topic to topic, but didn't really get to the better, deeper level of skill sets. Okay. He's probably very creative and stuff like that, but there's really a limit of what he can contribute into expert conversations. And those expert conversations are where breakthroughs are made and where the greatest value, the greatest startups come from, the greatest everything come from, rather than the opposite. The opposite. Okay. I kind of have the experience of both, being jack of all trade, master of none, or master of one, with things I've been doing, and I'm still learning about this iterative process. So AI will be an amplifier of your self improvement. You're going to use it as a tool, like a chess player, right? Like a grandmaster now is pretty much stronger than all the players from the 90s, the 80s, and the 70s because he knows more opening theory. He knows all the best moves. He has 10 moves of Stockfish memorized. That's how you're going to be, but you're going to be the same exact way with life itself. You're going to have AI doing research reports for you. You're going to have AI informing you on important decisions. You're going to be doing all sorts of shit. You're going to be getting like customized reports coming from AI. It's frankly, in probably like 10 years, AI is going to be in your clothes. It's going to be in everything. So it's just going to amplify ability. If I go to the gym, AI is going to tell me what my caloric intake is. It's going to tell me everything. What's my aging process looking? All this stuff will be amplified by AI to make you a superior human. Okay. Now, what does that mean for the future goals? That is to be determined. But the most probable answer I'm thinking is that in the future, work is going to be optional. It's not going to be mandatory anymore. So, like, in other words, all of us don't like working, but in the future, probably work will be optional. It'll be something that you can do if you want to make more money. If you want a better living standard, they'll give you the option to make more money, but most things will probably just be free, probably, or there'll be an absurdly high discount. Okay. Like if like I'll get like probably I could see a future in like 30 years. If you want to do jujitsu, boxing, wrestling, and sleep all day and train that all day, society is not really going to care. They're going to be like, okay, that's what you want to do. I think life in like 50 to 100 years will just be a sandbox. You'll wake up, if you want to go to college, you can go to college. If you want to study something, you can study something. You can pretty much do whatever the fuck you want, pretty much, right? And that will be the purest form of self improvement that there is. Okay, amplified by AI, and no longer will you self improve for like some type of financial incentive. You will improve for the sake of self improvement itself. It has to be internal. It has to be something for its own sake. If I do jujitsu, I'm trying to get better because of the joy of getting better. Or the joy of winning, or chess, or like math, if there's a math competition, something I'm doing for its own sake. And I would encourage you guys to start pursuing things for their own sake rather than simply the financial and monetary incentive, because that's going to get you a lot farther. Because if you think about it, what if like, we live in a world where there's just simply no money anymore? Think about that. What if there's like a world in which currency does not exist? Then what is going to be your primal motivator to do things? Okay, so to wrap up, be flexible, stop caring so much, don't be so well informed about AI, use it as an amplifier, amplify capability, master a skill set, and use AI to use your mastery of your skill set to amplify the mastery process itself and try to pursue things for their own sake and be ready for any possible changes in society. And above all, to simply accept that AI will be better than probably all of us at everything other than maybe physical capability. That may be the only human domain that AI will not replace humans in, because there's a fundamental limit in physics on how good robots can get relative to biological machines. In this case, biological machines simply have an advantage in terms of different types of movements and to move faster, right? So not to say that it's impossible that robots won't match human body capability, but it's probably 50 years away, in my opinion. Um, but other than that, guys, that's really all I have to say. I think if you're not using AI, or if you're not AI literate, you're behind the curve. You should be finding a couple things to automate, because pretty much, OpenAI has given us all the ability to automate our entire lives if we choose to. Using it, there's the racks and servers for a minor subscription fee. So why not use it to the best of those capabilities and see what type of value you can create in your own life? It doesn't have to be monetary value. It could just be value that you value yourself. That's all I have for you for Optimizing Forward. Please like, comment, subscribe, and thank you.